Speaking of Showtime continues to impress down the home stretch, and we continue to dive into this AL MVP race, which is very intriguing. Shohei Ohtani, 3 hits, 2 home runs last night. Tim, he's got 5 in his last 7. Oh, by the way, Aaron Judge has 5 in his last 7. So Shohei Ohtani going toe-to-toe with Judge down the stretch.
His numbers are really impressive. Regardless, I know Judge, kind of throws everything out. It makes everything look wonky, but he has a chance to really maybe hit 35, 40, maybe 40 homers with over 100 RBIs. He's hitting 270 right now. The last 30 games, he's hitting 349 with 1179 OPS. This kid is just amazing from an offensive standpoint. You're talking, if Judge wasn't doing what he's doing, you'd be talking about Ohtani again from an offensive standpoint. But boy, being able to hit the ball to both sides of the field. I heard something today on TV that 21 of Judge's home runs might not be home runs in most of the ballparks because of Yankee Stadium. Look at these blasts right here.
Got the short porch over there. I mean, Shohei could have 20 more, and you're exactly right. That's got to be part of the argument, you would think. And that's the 12th multi-homer game for Shohei, his 6th of the season, and he tied Troy Glaus for the most in the season. He did it back in 2000. So you talk about Shohei Ohtani and what he's been able to do. And yeah, we're talking offense now, but we can't say enough about the pitching and what he's done. He is a true #1 on this team, and you brought up a great point that Trent did yesterday as far as if you switched Ohtani and Judge, it'd be no contest because the Yankees get a #1 starter and they get a cleanup hitter and the short porch in New York. I mean, it just doesn't compare.
Well, yeah, if you're playing GM today and you're going to trade for Ohtani for Judge straight up, I'm thinking if I'm the Angels or whoever, trading for Judge, I'm saying Judge is a great cleanup hitter, but I need a pitcher in the deal too, because guess what? I'm giving you an elite #1 pitcher, and I'm giving you a guy that's going to hit cleanup in your lineup. Maybe not the way Judge is doing this year, but he's going to hit cleanup, and he's going to hit a lot of home runs, especially in Yankee Stadium. So, when you start breaking down this MVP talk, I understand there is so much bias, East Coast bias. Sure. It's the Yankees. It's 61 homers. It's all that stuff. But I really hope at the end of the day, in this era of StatCast and era of analytics, that somebody out there would pay attention to what's going on a daily basis in Shohei Ohtani. What Shohei Ohtani does every day, hitting the ball, running the ball out, running out the triples, the doubles, and then, oh, by the way, every 5 or 6 days, he goes out there and competes as a #1 starter. That's just, to me, he's the best player in the game by far. I mean, Judge is doing great stuff, but Ohtani is the best player in the game.
Let's take a look at the numbers over the last 29 games for Shohei Ohtani to give you an idea of how hot he is. And you gave a great point, and we've debated this in our press room, talking about it shouldn't be called the MVP anymore. It's the most outstanding player, because there's been several players, Tim, and at a later date we'll tell you who they are, who have been chosen MVP on losing teams. But look at the numbers since August the 4th. First with extra base hits, home runs second, OPS, RBI, and a 1.74 ERA as a pitcher. That's where this whole thing gets turned on its head.
Yeah, because we're not talking about somebody who's having a good offensive year and they're an average pitcher. He's the lead on both sides of the ball. And I will go there a little bit. Hey, in the last 7 years, Trout's won the MVP twice on a losing team. Harper's done it twice on a team that didn't make it to the playoffs. Stanton did it once, and then Ohtani did it last year. So, the argument that you have to be on a team that's going into the postseason, that's never really completely been the argument. You can all the way back to the early days. I remember Andre Dawson winning it with the Chicago Cubs on a losing team. So the MVP isn't necessarily the player that takes his team to the postseason. It's really the best player in the game. And I'm telling you right now, I mean, we're splitting hairs. They're both great players. Okay?
Oh, absolutely.
We're
not saying that at all.
But we're just talking that Ohtani deserves a lot more recognition right now than what he's getting from the East Coast media. And I understand the bias. When you play the game, you understand. Everything centers in New York, but I just think they need to be paying a little bit more attention out here west than what Ohtani's doing.
Look past the pinstripes if you can. And again, we mentioned this last night. You got Judge trying to do something that hasn't happened since '61. Ohtani has done something and looking to repeat it, of something that hasn't been done over 100 years.
Ever. I mean, he's doing stuff on a regular basis.
Now his numbers are all-time, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's out there setting bars that will never be eclipsed. And we're going to talk about Cal Ripken here in a little bit. But I'm telling you what, Ohtani's doing stuff. You will never see this happen in the game again because you might have a two-way player, but you will never have the elite two-way player. Ohtani has the potential. If the Angels were playing better, he'd be pushing 20 wins as a pitcher. Oh my goodness, 20 wins as a pitcher, maybe 40 homers, 100 RBIs. Come on, that's insanity right there. And that's just something I don't think enough people are talking about.
Healthy Trout, healthy Rendon, healthy Ohtani, who's, by the way, has been healthy all year long. Get everybody in that lineup, a regular lineup. It'd be incredible to see what Shohei Ohtani could do on the mound. We know what he can do playing both ways. Now, Mike.